I might come across as crazy, but I think the Los Angeles Lakers might just actually be fine. Now, this is coming after a loss to the Boston Celtics after they had a crazy comeback, but also a crazy blown lead again to lose the game last night. And by last night, I mean on Tuesday. But it's not the end of the world for that loss. I actually took a lot of good things out of it. Now, I know the Lakers fans probably missed the team that used to be 57-0 during the championship year when they were leading in the fourth quarter. During that year, the Lakers were the first team to not lose a game after starting the fourth quarter with the lead throughout the entire season since 1954. But that team's gone. All right, and we have a different Lakers team. Now, it is crazy a little bit to say that I believe the Lakers are okay after watching the collapse last night and watching them not be the greatest team, the greatest LeBron team we've seen in a long time. They've been not that good, but I'm basing this off the eye test. Now, the loss to the Celtics was weird. The Celtics were up by 20 in the third quarter. The Lakers outscored them 41-9 and led by 13 points with 3:43 left in the game. Boston then outscored the Lakers 29-12 over the final 3 minutes and 43 seconds, and then pretty much blew them out in OT, where they ended up winning by 4. It sure makes you miss that 2020 Lakers team that found ways to win and hold off on leads. But I'm fine with it. Last night we were watching the Lakers go against the best team in the NBA. They found a way to come back. They found a way to rally together and look like a really good basketball team despite losing at some point. Going into the game against the Celtics, they were third in offensive rating in the NBA over the last 10 games, and somewhere in the top 15th, I believe was 12th in defensive rating over the last 10 games. So the Lakers have started to figure things out, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. And if you were to go look at the standings right now, you'd probably think I'm crazy for saying I see a little bit of a turnaround. The Lakers are 11-16, and the only teams that are below them are the Thunder, the Spurs, and the Rockets. But they're only 2 games out of the spot against Golden State for the 10th seed in the West. And a team like Golden State, nobody's over freaking out about them, but they just won a championship and they're at 14-14. Sometimes these teams take a while to get good when you have some older talent. Look at the teams on the top of the West, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, a bunch of teams with young talent, and they probably can play every single day. You even have a team like the Phoenix Suns who have been on a couple big playoff runs recently. They just lost 5 in a row because they're probably gassed. They have guys like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton that have been playing deep into playoff runs the last couple years, and right now the regular season isn't their only priority. But sure, the place in the standings is not very good, but they're right there, like I said, with the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, teams that are planning on making the playoffs for sure and have been building a team to make the playoffs. So I don't think it's time to panic too much about the Lakers. And actually, if you just base it off the eye test, I don't mind what I've been seeing. And I think the biggest part of that all has been Anthony Davis. Over the last 10 games, Anthony Davis has played 8 of them for the Lakers. 8 out of 10 games for Anthony Davis is actually a big deal. Most people might laugh at that. Some people might say like, oh my God, we're celebrating Anthony Davis playing 80% of games. Yes, we are. Because there was some point in the season where he was playing like the best player in the NBA and he started to miss a game. He got sick and then he had some back pain and people started to say, is it starting again? Like, is he about to miss time? The one season Anthony Davis stayed healthy, the one time he ever played a full season and stayed healthy with the Lakers was 2020 when they won the championship. Now, I know it was a controlled environment. They were in the bubble, shorter season. Call it what you want. The one time Anthony Davis stayed healthy, they won a championship, and he played amazing. Over the last 10 games, or 8 for him, whatever you want to call it, he averaged 31.8 points per game, 11.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2.1 blocks, shooting 63.9 from the field and 41.7 from 3. 41.7 from 3 for a 30% career three-point shooter. Anthony Davis was playing like the best player in the NBA for quite some time, and he's still playing amazing. Let's go through some of his stat lines the last 5 games. Now, he left the Cavs game 8 minutes in. He's feeling sick, whatever it may be. But earlier that week, in a win against Washington, he had 55 points and 17 rebounds. Then against Philadelphia, he had 31 points and 12 rebounds. Against Detroit, 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. And then last night in the loss to Boston, even though it was a loss, he scored 37 points with 12 rebounds, playing, like I said, one of the best players in the NBA right now. Big ups to Anthony Davis. He's helping keep this season alive. And of course, you have LeBron James, the 37-year-old who turns 38 in 15 days, somehow playing like he's still a young buck. In those last 10 games, he played 9 of them, averaging 28.9 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, 6.1 assists, a 1.2 steals, and he's shooting 49% from the field and 39.2 from the three-point line. And he's got that free throw average up at 72%. LeBron James is playing like he's young again, and things are starting to get better. Now, obviously, with these guys that are veterans, the defense lacks a little bit, but they're playing okay basketball, and the eye test is what I'm really worried about. Last but not least is Russell Westbrook. Now, there are still some flaws. He's a sixth man, which is perfect for his role, in my opinion. And he's still shooting over his last 10 games, 21% from three. So he needs to stop shooting threes. But he's shooting 40% from the field. They're giving him about 28 minutes per game, but he's averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's exactly what you want from Westbrook. And if you can get him to buy in a little bit defensively, work hard, be passionate, throw up lobs, catch lobs, and do what he has to do and not take dumb shots at the end of a game, the Lakers have something good with Russell Westbrook. And at the minimum, they have a guy that maybe, just maybe, they can prove is pretty decent still, and that could bring up some trade stock if they want to get rid of him somehow. If not, I do think he's figuring out his role as a guy off the bench, and it's at least working okay. It went from a disaster to working okay, but when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James playing at high levels, they'll be okay with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. And he is obviously allowing himself to be the third fiddle to LeBron and Anthony Davis when they're playing at that high of a level. So if they can keep up their level, I think Russell Westbrook can understand his role as well. Now, the Lakers have a couple games left until Christmas, and then Christmas against the Mavericks is about the time where I'm going to start deciding truly if this team has a chance or not. Now, like I said, the eye test has been saying yes, but the standings are saying no. But Christmas Day is when I feel like the official start of an NBA season is, and I think a lot of people agree with that. That's kind of when you know what's going to happen moving forward. Now we're about 25, 30 games into a season, and every team knows their roles, and let's see how it moves forward. In the meantime, before that, the Lakers play the Denver Nuggets at home, the Washington Wizards, at Phoenix, at Sacramento, in Charlotte, and at Dallas on Christmas Day. So over these next 6 games, I'd like to see the Lakers at least go 4-2. 3-3 would be the worst case scenario here. And if they can go 4-2 and get a little bit of a run, after that, they're on a little bit of an East Coast trip with, I think, winnable games. You have at Orlando, at Miami, Atlanta, at Charlotte, and just games that in teams that you can probably beat just based off the fact that you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So we are getting to the point where I think we're going to find out a lot about this Los Angeles Lakers team, but I'm actually a believer based off the eye test and the way LeBron and AD have been playing and the way that Westbrook's kind of been okay being the third piece. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this team has a chance or not? And I'm Sammy on Tap. I appreciate you listening. Follow me at Sammy on Tap everywhere, and the brand The Sports on Tap. It's at The Sports on Tap on all platforms. And I appreciate you stopping by today. Peace.